guys, I'm going to be doing the CA Campus Mock Test GoGreen Limited, and you can see the topics covered there are pre-engagements and planning. Alright, you've got 12 minutes. This is what you should have picked up in your reading time. This is what your scenario should look like, or at least similar to this, after having been through the 12 minutes of reading time. If yours doesn't, then go back to your scenario and compare yours to mine so that you can see, oh, when I see this, I should make this comment like Candace has. Okay, you want your scenarios to have as much information pointed out to you for when you get your required. Alright, so background. GoGreen Limited. So I'm just going to make a note that it's a public company here. Limited means public. That's it. It does not mean it's listed. They need to tell you it's listed for it to be considered listed. Was established in 2014 by self-proclaimed vegan Mia Vegan. Mia's vision was to deliver honest and affordable products to consumers without putting the safety of the consumer or the environment at risk. GoGreen retails a variety of products that are environmentally friendly. So now I can see kind of what industry they are in. They retail, and it's environmentally friendly products. In order for a product to be considered environmentally friendly, the product's ingredients are required to be toxin-free, the product is required to be certified cruelty-free, and the packaging of the product is required to be plastic-free. So those are the requirements for it to be eco-friendly. Mia personally checks each product to ensure that it meets the environmentally friendly criteria before it is approved for retail. So I can see there's some sort of a control here, a checking or recon what is in the ingredients to what they believe should be for it to be considered environmentally friendly. In order to get the business off the ground, Mia entered into a franchise agreement with Eco Earth Limited. The details of the franchise agreement are included in the paragraph below franchise agreement, so I'll leave that until I get there. GoGreen started out small but experienced rapid growth in 2018 after climate activist Greta Thunberg protested outside the Swedish Parliament building for 3 weeks to highlight the need for change in order to address climate change. So I'm just going to make a note here, risk at the financial statement level, because they have had rapid growth, and if this rapid growth continues into the current year, there's a risk the controls are not continually updated to handle this rapid growth. The rapid growth enabled GoGreen to meet the JSE listing requirements for the year end 28 February 2021, and GoGreen subsequently listed on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. So now I've got a risk here at the financial statement level because they have listed on the JSE. Franchise agreement. In 2014, GoGreen entered into a franchise agreement with Eco Earth, an established manufacturer of environmentally friendly products. So it's 2014. We are already seeing that in 2021 they listed on the JSE, so I can see that this has been a franchise agreement for some time. The franchise agreement has many cumbersome restrictions on GoGreen's operations, including but not limited to. Okay, so I'm just going to see it. There's a franchise agreement with cumbersome restrictions. So I'm going to make a risk at the financial statement level because of this franchise agreement. Because if they don't adhere to the requirements of that agreement, there could be risks with their ability to continue if this agreement gets cancelled and they are so reliant on this agreement to be an operating entity. Okay, so it could cause going concern issues. So what are the restrictions? Eco Earth is its only supplier of products. So now we're going to have a risk here at the assertion level, because what happens if the products are not at the correct standard, or if they're overpriced, but they have to purchase from the supplier? So there's a big risk with regards to your valuation of your inventory, specifically the products from Eco Earth. Eco Earth sets the selling price of its products for GoGreen to retail. So it tells GoGreen at what price they need to sell. Again, what happens if they give a selling price that it's too low? So ultimately, they're paying more than what they're able to get for the product. There's going to be no profit for GoGreen. So is there potential going concern risk here, depending on what that selling price is? If the selling price is too high that they can't actually sell it, then there's going to be a risk, once again, of going concern, because nobody's going to buy it. EcoEarth sets the sales targets for its products. So now we're going to have assertion level risk with regards to the occurrence of revenue, because if those targets are set so high, then management might fictitiously record revenue to show that they're meeting those targets when in fact they might not be. Preparation of the annual financial statements in accordance with International Financial Reporting Standards, IFRS, and an annual full statutory audit performed by CTA Inc., EcoEarth's auditors. So you can see now who the auditors have to be as a result of this agreement. The agreement does, however, allow GoGreen to manufacture its own product if EcoEarth does not supply a particular product that GoGreen wishes to retail. So here we can see that they are able to manufacture if they need to. The initial franchise agreement was set for a period of 5 years, and this was renewed for a further 5 years at the end of 2018. So it's obviously a good enough agreement if they are renewing to keep this franchise. GoGreen Manu PLC. During the current financial year, GoGreen purchased 100% shareholding in an eco-friendly manufacturing plant, GoGreen Manu PLC. So now I can go and say, all right, you've got GoGreen here. They have now bought 100% shareholding in GoGreen Manu. So I now have all the group risks. All the group risks, and I also have related party risks. Those two specific related party risks, that they are not at arm's length or that they are not disclosed. GoGreen Manu is a Zimbabwean private limited company. So now I've got an additional risk for the group, for the consolidation, because of the foreign subsidiary. So I'm going to just put that there for the group. GoGreen Manu was purchased with the sole intention of manufacturing the eco-friendly products that EcoEarth does not supply in order for GoGreen to retail. So now I've got additional risks for the company GoGreen. Risk at the financial statement level, because they are purchasing from a foreign company. So if they don't comply with the foreign regulation, they might not be able to purchase from this company, which could result in penalties or going concern. In addition, I've got an assertion level risk with regards to the purchases now, and it's whether they are translated at the correct exchange rate. So I've got accuracy, and there'll be a cut-off risk, because if they purchase over year end, risks and rewards could transfer, but they may not record it, or vice versa. Risk and rewards haven't transferred, but they record it in the accounting record. So there could be a risk because it happens now over year end with a foreign company. GoGreen Manu is considered a significant component of the GoGreen group. So I'm going to highlight this here. It's a significant component, which means for the group audit, they're going to have to audit this component. Accounting and bookkeeping. Mia's husband, Don Vegan, is the financial director of GoGreen and was recently appointed group financial director. So now I've got a little bit of a concern here, because it looks to be owner managed. Even if it is owner managed through relationships here. Wife is the owner, she started this business, and now her husband is the financial director. Okay, so there could be manipulation in the accounting records for the person's financial benefits instead of the company. Don is very passionate about information technology. In the 2020 financial period, with his wife's approval, he purchased Page, a basic off-the-shelf accounting package, and converted GoGreen's manual accounting records into computerized accounting records. Okay, so you can see here, with his wife's approval, so we're seeing owner manage. This was in 2020, so it's not a risk for the current financial period. But what I can see here is that they've got a basic off-the-shelf computer information system. So all the risks with having a computer information system now become relevant here. I'm just going to say there's that risk. What are those risks? We'll get into more detail when we cover computers, but things like if it's not backed up, they could lose data. If it's hacked, there could be changes and loss of data. Okay, so there's risks when they've got this computer information system. The conversion was seamless, as almost all of the closing balances in the manual accounting records agreed to the opening balances in Page. Almost all, so this is a bit of a concern. Wow, what's happened here? The balances that were not showing in Page were all the non-current assets and liabilities, as the accounting package was not advanced enough to account for these non-current assets and liabilities according to the various international financial reporting standards, IFRS. So I'm going to automatically have a risk at the assertion level for your non-current assets and your non-current liabilities with regards to the evaluation. And guys, at this point, because it is all non-current assets, all non-current liabilities, it's not really limited. So I could really make that a risk at the financial statement level, because a lot of balances and class of transactions are going to be affected by this. Okay, non-current assets, so if they aren't being recorded or counted correctly, then it's your depreciation, it's impairments, it's interest. So there's a lot of accounts, and so I would put that at a financial statement level because this package is not advanced enough. Don passed a few journal entries on 29 February 2020 to include these balances in the accounting records, and continues to manually update these balances on an annual basis after receiving the audit difference schedule from the auditors showing the misstatements in these balances at each year end. So now I've got a concern here at the financial statement level with regards to the financial director's knowledge. If he himself is not updating them, he waits for the auditors to tell what the amount should be to then go and process the journal entry. Okay, so I've also got now this risk here with regards to the computer information system. I'm going to say it's not integrated. It's actually too basic because it doesn't account for the assets and the liabilities that this entity has. And as a result, they have to do them manually. That's too risky. Okay, what I will also just add here, guys, because they have a computer information system, I'm just going to put here cats. I'm not going to be doing any testing with cats at this point because we're not quite there. However, they have a computer information system, therefore I can use cats in my testing if it comes up. Auditors. CTA Inc. was reappointed as the auditors of GoGreen Limited for the year end 28 February 2022. So this is where we are. This year is 28 February 2022. CTA Inc. further accepted the appointment of the GoGreen consolidated financial statements for the year ended 28 February 2022. So reappointed for the company means, from a pre-engagement perspective, we are looking at continuing. Accepted for the consolidated, it's new, so this is your complete new pre-engagement. However, it's the first time it's a group, so there's no opening balance risks because it's going to be the first group financials. So I put your pre-engagement because I'm still going to have to consider all the factors about whether to accept, but I don't have the additional opening balance risks. CTA Inc. is a medium-sized audit firm in South Africa with offices situated in all the major cities. So I can see the size of the firm and in the major cities makes sense why they wouldn't be auditing the Zimbabwean company. CTA will use the same audit team for the audit of GoGreen company and the group financial statements. The audit team comprises of 2 first-year article clerks, 1 manager, and the audit partner. So I'm just going to make a note here. There's 4 in the team to audit the company and the group. So there may be a concern whether there's sufficient for the 2 audits. Okay, and so this I will link back to your pre-engagement now. The partner made it clear to the audit team that although this was the first time any of the members of the audit team had been assigned to this client, the previous audit team comprised of 4 members who had successfully completed the GoGreen audit within 2 months of the year. Therefore, this team was more than capable of doing the same. So we've got a few concerns here, guys. First of all, they are all new to this engagement. So sufficiency is a concern, but also knowledge and competence and skills and experience are also in our concerns because it's a new team. And in addition, the previous team of 4 audited the company within 2 months, but this team of 4 who is now new also have to audit the consolidated financials within the 2 months. So there's a big concern here with time, the deadline, and capacity, because there are now 2 audits. 1, the company, and 2nd, the group, within the same time frame as the previous just company. GoGreen's audit committee has requested the audit reports for the GoGreen company and group are ready for review by 15 April 2022. So you can see here, it's even less than 2 months. So there's a risk at the financial statement level because there's a tight deadline. Why is it the financial statement level? Because subsequent events might not be updated and included, and therefore whatever balances and transactions are affected would be incorrect. In addition, a tight deadline for the audit means that the financials will have to be ready early for us to go and perform the audit, and they might not have been reviewed and misstatements by management might not have been picked up before we start our audit. So that's why it's a risk at the financial statement level. It's now also a risk for the auditors. I'm just going to put their detection risk because of the tight deadline. So misstatements may not be identified. PWT Inc. was reappointed as the auditors of GoGreen Manu PLC for the year ended 28 February 2022. So different auditors are going to be doing the audit of the foreign subsidiary. So this becomes a risk at the group level because they have to rely on components. Auditors to consolidate the components into the financials. So if the components financials are wrong, the group financials will now be wrong. PWT are based in Zimbabwe, and therefore it was decided that they would be best suited to audit the Zimbabwean-based subsidiary. Communication between CTA and PWT has been recorded in the audit file with the following references: description of working paper, group instructions to component auditor, working paper reference WP25. Component auditor reports on significant deficiencies in internal control identified, working paper 133. So working paper 25, the following instructions were sent to PWT for the audit of the component GoGreen Manu. PWT is to send confirmation that they are aware that CTA will use their work in the context of the group audit and they will cooperate with the group engagement team and have adhered to the ethical requirements relevant to the group audit. So the group auditors are going to use the work that PWT do to assist in the group audit. Therefore, they have to comply with ethical requirements relevant to the group too. So all the ethical requirements they have to do for the subsidiary, because they are the auditors, they now have to have done for the group. Component materiality is set at 2 million. So there we can see that's given from the group auditors to the components, and a threshold of 350,000. So that means that they cannot ignore misstatements above the 350. A list of related parties will be emailed to the component auditors. The following are to be reported to the group audit team on a timely basis. All significant risks of material misstatements of the group financial statements identified, along with the component auditor's response to address these risks. So, if the component auditor has any risks that are significant that could affect the group financials, they have to send those to the group auditors as well as their response to assist with those risks. Matters relating to the going concern status of the component, matters relating to litigations and claims of the component, significant deficiencies in internal control, and any significant or unusual events. So guys, this all kind of makes sense in terms of what ISA 600 says. I haven't seen anything that seems stranger. I can't think of anything missing at this point, but I will have to go into ISA 600 to see if there's things that are wrong or missing. I'm not going to do that now, but I know that I might have to. The audit is to be completed by 20 March. So now, the component auditor has 20 days to complete this audit. So once again, I'm going to have now risk for the components audit because of the tight deadline. GoGreen Manu PLC is now reporting to the group component auditor reports on significant deficiencies in internal control identified. So the significant deficiencies in internal control identified. During our testing of non-current assets, we identified a number of control deficiencies over the authorization and approval of IT infrastructure, including the purchase of the off-the-shelf accounting package page. So now, I've got a concern here because the controls are not working over the authorization, so assertion level risk with regards to the authorization and therefore occurrence of IT infrastructure. With regards to the purchase of the off-the-shelf accounting package, so now this subsidiary has gone and purchased the computer information system. So all those risks now apply. Based on our inquiries with Ben Beyer, the procurement manager, Don Vegan authorized these IT purchases at a group level. So now they're saying that these controls were group authorized. This was done to assist with the preparation of the group's consolidated financial statements. So guys, previously in terms of the accounting records, we've seen that GoGreen Limited purchased Page a few years ago. Now they're saying that this subsidiary that was purchased during the current year has gone and implemented this accounting system, so that when they consolidate for the group, they're using the same accounting systems. As we are based in Zimbabwe and do not have access to Don Vegan, we are reporting the company's deficiencies in internal control to you in order for you to take it up at a group level. We are hoping that the group's internal controls are operating effectively and would in retrospect address the components' internal control deficiencies. Okay, so you can see the controls are not working specifically over the purchase of the infrastructure. They, however, are saying that it may be addressed if the group controls are operating effectively because the group financial director authorized this purchase. Okay, let's go and have a look at the required